May I ask why you requested to meet me with this rather hastily scribbled note? You realize we've been together for 2 years, yes? You're allowed to request a meeting with me face to face. Or are you, perhaps, still intimidated by me? You were nervous? Whatever for? You thought that perhaps this would be a bad time to meet with me. How could it possibly be a bad time? Listen, I know I've been busy recently, and I know that the stress of everything has certainly taken an effect on the tone I used when speaking to you recently. I apologize for this. It is absolutely unfair of me to take this stress out on you. I hope that you can forgive me and allow me to attempt to do better, because I will. I will do better. That being said, regardless of my workload or how much stress I'm under, it's never a bad time for me to speak with you. After all, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Being with you, especially during times like this, it's one of the few things that keeps me grounded, one of the few things that keeps me from losing it entirely. Being with you, it relaxes me, puts my mind at ease. And when it's just the two of us, behind closed doors, I'm able to abandon the facade that I try so hard to uphold. I'm able to forget the person I pretend to be day after day. It's soothing in a way, therapeutic almost. So of course, this isn't a bad time. Now, you don't usually feel so nervous when requesting to meet with me, even when I'm under a lot of stress. What's going on? Is everything all right? I may want to sit down. Why is that? Are you perhaps getting ready to break things off? If that's the case, I don't need to sit down. I was somewhat prepared for this since the beginning of our relationship. It isn't that I want things to end, it isn't that I don't want things to continue, it's just, given our line of work, I would understand. And it's something that I always have to be prepared for. Rather unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. It isn't that? This does put my mind at ease, at the very least. Very well, if it isn't this, then I will take your advice and have a seat. You should do the same. You look exhausted. I'd like for you to sit down and relax. You're a bit too nervous to sit still? Very well then, if you say so. What's going on? Yes, of course, I remember how excited everyone was when they found out that we were no longer outlaws. It was absolutely unbearable dealing with their excitement, but it was rather rewarding to deal with yours. Why do you ask? You haven't been feeling well recently. Are you perhaps implying that you're sick? That you're ill as a result of our activities? Not exactly. What do you mean, then? What? I heard you the first time. At least I think I did. Repeat yourself, would you? I want to make absolutely certain I heard you properly. You can stop. It seems I did hear you correctly the first time. So, you're pregnant. You're certain of this? All right. Even Hanji can confirm? Very well. And you are absolutely certain that it's mine, yes? Good, good. Tell me, how do you feel about this? You want to know how I feel about it? That isn't nearly as important as how you feel about this. I will support your decision no matter what. I just need to know what it is. You want to know how I feel first? I'm a little confused on how I feel. After all, I have dreamed of taking care of a child for a while. Not that I don't do that enough already. However, there are certain risks that need to be taken into consideration, such as the danger we put ourselves through, the danger that everyone lives in, especially nowadays. There are those risks that need to be considered, but also the fact that we are under a high amount of stress. Even if we both survive and we do have a child together, that stress that we face, it can certainly affect our behavior with the child. And I would absolutely hate, I would loathe for you and for our child to be exposed to a hostile living environment. I've said already that the stress I'm under certainly affects the way I speak with you, and I don't want to put a child through that. However, assuming you wish to go through with the pregnancy, have the child, and keep it, I'll be there. I'll be by your side, every minute of every day. That is, as long as you and I both make it. Oh? You want to ask a few questions? Very well then, ask away. If you didn't wish to go through with the pregnancy, I would understand and I would support you. First of all, this world is dangerous. Our jobs are dangerous. Not to mention, some people just don't want children, and that's perfectly fine. If you chose to terminate the pregnancy, I would be by your side, every minute of every day, just as I am now. And of course, I would completely respect your decision. I wouldn't make you feel guilty over it. I would just leave it in the past, where it belongs. If you chose to go through with the pregnancy, and you had the child, and you wanted to keep it, well, I suppose it would depend on what you decided to do from there. After all, you could leave the military, you could find a home and raise the child there. If this were the case, as much as I would want to be by your side, leave the military and just be with you, I, unfortunately, have a responsibility. I have an obligation to fill. After all, I am humanity's strongest soldier for a reason. And as much as I would love to shed that burden and just start a family with you, unfortunately, I just can't bring myself to do it. I would visit you, of course, and I would still be there for you. If there was an emergency, even if I was facing the damn Beast Titan, I'd drop everything and run to your side. And, of course, if you chose to remain in the military, have the child live here with the rest of us, I would support you. Anything you needed, any time of the day, any help I could offer you, I would give it to you. I would always be there for you. I would never, ever force you to raise our child alone. So just tell me what your decision is, and I promise I'll respect it. You wish to carry through with the pregnancy. Very well, I support this. And do you have any idea what you're going to do after the child is born? Do you wish to remain in the military? Do you wish to leave? You're uncertain. That's understandable. So, when the time comes, we'll have this discussion again, and regardless of your choice, I'll support you. I hope you know this. Tell me, though, how long have you known about this? A few weeks? And I think I already know the answer. Why did you wait so long to tell me? You were afraid? That's almost amusing. After all, I have told you, time and time again, just how much I love you. Just how much you mean to me. How there's no way in hell I would ever leave you. Unless, of course, you turned out to be an enemy of humanity, but even then, it would certainly be difficult. I have told you countless times that you could never say or do anything to make me want to leave you. So, your fear is certainly justifiable. After all, I have been stressed. I have been a bit rude, even with you. And this kind of news is certainly very difficult to deal with, especially given our line of work. However, I almost want to laugh. Not at the fact that you were afraid, but at the fact that you think I wouldn't be excited about something that would only bring me closer to you. Of course. Now I have far more reasons to be by your side every minute of every day. I have more reasons to always watch out for you, always be with you. And how could I feel anything but overjoyed at this opportunity?